Here we go.
Now, if you couldn't tell already, Bob Dylan is just a little bit before my time. Just a little bit. Growing up, I never really listened to his music. Like, I obviously knew who he was, and I knew maybe one or two songs by him. But as far as prior knowledge going into the complete unknown, I didn't really have much. The trailers compelled me, and I was interested. Timothée Chalamet is obviously one of the greatest actors. I'd go as far as to say of all time now, so any movie with him, I'm going to be interested in seeing. The Complete Unknown is really just an actor showcase, especially for Chalamet, who gets to shine like how he usually does, and I found this to be a really entertaining musical biopic. Probably one of the biggest talking points around the movie, whether you've seen it or not, is the idea around how Bob Dylan, as a character, as a movie that's studying his persona, it's really hard to dive into him because he's kind of just like an enigma. And what director James Mangold really just smartly does is that he doesn't really try to dive into Bob Dylan. He throughout the movie, he's kind of kept at arm's length. Now, if you leave the movie and you find yourself not liking that, I can completely understand it. It's a really tricky thing to do, not really diving into a character that the movie completely is about. I have to give massive props to James Mangold because he was able to crack the code. He kept me invested, and I like that approach, keeping Bob Dylan as this almost entity. The movie doesn't try to understand him, why he does what he does. If anything, biopics, especially musical ones, they need that different approach to it to keep it fresh, or else it's just going to feel predictable. I don't think that A Complete Unknown feels predictable. It's a fairly standard biopic aside from the fact that you don't really understand Bob Dylan. I actually found the movie to be fairly dull at the start, but as it went along, it started to grow on me, and by the end of it, I found it to be very entertaining. As a whole, I think the movie is too long. I don't really think it needs to be nearly 2 hours and 30 minutes. Probably closer to the 2-hour mark I would have preferred. But this movie just serves as an acting masterclass. Every performance is phenomenal. Some of the best of the year. Some of the best performances that each of them have done in their careers. Timothée Chalamet, who is just incredible per usual. What really impressed me above all else is when the first half of the credits at the very end of the movie play his iteration of one of Dylan's songs, and afterwards it plays Dylan's original version. And the fact that the difference is so minute, I really had to double check. Is that Dylan or is that Chalamet? Chalamet has been preparing for this role for many years. It's been like 6 years in the making or something like that. And his devotion to his craft shows on screen. He just delivers some of the best work I've seen all year. Trying to capture a real life person in a film is very tricky, no doubt. And I will never truly understand the full process of an actor diving into a real life person, as I'm not an actor. But as a viewer, it becomes more of a, are they just doing an impression or are they really becoming this person? And with Chalamet, it's the latter. At one point or another, you just see Bob Dylan. You don't see Timothée Chalamet. And I have to say that for most, if not all, of the other performances too. Monica Barbero is just as wonderful. Boyd Holbrook as Johnny Cash, that is crazy how he just sinks into it. Ed Norton does a little bit of Ed Norton, a little bit of Pete Seeger, but really just overall incredible work from each of the actors. Another one of the really strong portions of the movie are the performances. As far as I'm aware, I believe they were performed live on set, which is really just incredible to see and hear. You genuinely feel like you're there at these performances, and it just feels like a transformative experience. And it's an experience that just transports you to the exact time, the exact place in the world. The Times Are Changing performance was really just spectacular. You're just there and you really can't take your eyes off the screen. Another one of the interesting touches is that the movie dives into creative freedom in the back half, and Dylan really wanting to make sure that he kept that in his career and he didn't let people take over his career and decide what decisions he would make. As far as issues, the passage of time can be a little bit tricky to get used to. The movie goes really quickly, then it slows down, then it goes really quickly, and you have to just kind of go with it. It bounces from scene to scene to scene very quickly, and you just have to get on board. I did find it to be dull at the start. I think it's a little bit rocky in the beginning, but like I said, it started to grow on me. I didn't really find it to be particularly anything crazy, not great per se, but I think the performances are really where this movie thrives. And the simple fact alone that James Mangold just does an excellent job at capturing the aura of Bob Dylan. It's interesting because, like I said, he feels understood, but not really understood. It's a cool balance that they managed to pull off. And I'm just more interested to dive into Bob Dylan's music more. It really... I have even a couple of the songs from the movie on my playlist now. I'm going to give A Complete Unknown a B, and I would recommend going to see it in a theater this holiday season. I did really enjoy this one, and I hope you guys do as well. As always, look forward to more content coming soon, and thank you so much for watching. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.